Now, I want to talk about dreams because a lot of us, we have these strange dreams. And it seems like lately, a lot of people have been having very vivid, strange, or odd dreams. Am I right? A lot of people, it seems like, are having these very strange, very odd dreams. So the question is, what do they mean? What is their significance? Or are they simply, our subconscious thoughts being released when we sleep? Or is there something more to it? Now, I've had a lot of strange dreams. And what's interesting is I've had dreams that have actually came true. I've seen things in my dreams, and it's like the next day or the next week these things have happened. And every once in a while, it's like I'll have a dream and eventually those dreams do come true. And now it's nothing like crazy, obviously, but it's like life events that happen. And it's almost like somehow I was able to pick up through these dreams something that was going to happen and was able to foresee or foreshadow future events. And it's kind of eerie, like how, on point they had been when I have these dreams. So, there's definitely something more, I think, going on. Now, you have to understand that when we sleep, we go into a very relaxed state. And especially when we get into that deep sleep, which they call the REM sleep, which our body is basically completely shut off almost, and in this such a relaxed state that we start dreaming. And this is the good sleep. This is the dreams are when we are in this deep sleep. And I think what happens is that, when you look at all these different religions out there, Buddhism, Hinduism, even Christianity, right? They all speak of meditation, clearing your mind, relaxing your body, and getting to a place where you can be enlightened. In Christianity, when you pray, right, you want to close your eyes and, sort of get in this relaxed state to kind of open up your mind and sort of speak to God. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they believe sort of that you can meditate and you can go to another spiritual realm and actually astral travel or communicate with other beings. And sometimes they call these beings that aren't of this planet. And so there's a lot of religions that speak about meditation and getting into a very relaxed state. So I think one of the reasons we have these dreams and they almost seem to be spiritual is because I think, in a sense, we are meditating. We are going to a relaxed spot or a relaxed place in our minds where there's no distractions, where there's nothing bothering us, there's nothing blocking our minds for receiving a sort of a spiritual enlightenment or journey. So I think that that's why when we sleep, we have such vivid dreams sometimes, is because we're essentially meditating and we just don't realize it. And I've heard stories of people that, what's really interesting. I heard this story one time. This person said that he was in a very deep sleep and he dreamed he was at a place. And this is a person that I respect and I trust and I would believe wholeheartedly, And he said that he had this dream that he traveled, not traveled, but he was at this place, at a place in town. And he was hanging out with some people and he was having conversations with people that he knew. And he said, when he woke up in the morning and the next day, some of those people that he had communicated with in his dream had came to him and were like talking to him about him being there at the place he had dreamed of that he was at, right? And they said, hey, we seen you last night at this place downtown. And that person was like, no, I was sleeping last night. And they said, no, you were there, you were hanging out with us, you did this and this and this. And they basically described his dream. And what I thought was interesting about that is that maybe perhaps he didn't realize this, but somehow he was able to project his soul or spirit, an astral projection, if you will, and travel to this place because subconsciously he was thinking about it. And he was in such a relaxed state that he was able to unleash sort of this power in his mind to be able to travel to this location. And I've heard this with a lot of people, that people have said they've seen someone somewhere and they claim, I've seen you at this place, but that person is sleeping. That person isn't even there, or in other towns or cities. So is it possible that we can leave our subconscious bodies and actually travel to other places in the world and physically go there? And sort of like how people see ghosts, can our spirit that's inside us leave our bodies and travel to other places or even other dimensions? And that's something that I've always thought about, and I've always wondered. When we sleep, do we essentially travel to another dimension, a dimension of time and space where anything is possible, and that these dreams are not just subconscious memories or subconscious thoughts? They are essentially us traveling to another dimension where other things are happening, and we're experiencing that in real time, and we're experiencing parts of this other dimension where weird and strange things happen because it's not in the same dimension as us, and they experience time and space much differently. They experience the laws of physics much differently. And I've wondered, when we sleep, do we travel to another dimension? Do we travel to another point in space and time where everything is possible? And I think there's a good possibility. I think that's why sometimes we foresee things, because we go to this place where it's sort of an alternate reality and where things have happened, and we experience things that have already happened or will happen or haven't happened because we are traveling through other dimensions. And, can we even travel through time? When we dream, are we traveling to other points in time? Could this explain what ghosts are, right? Which is an interesting theory. Think about it. When you sleep, does your spirit travel outside your body, And does it travel to other points in time and space? And people experience that as a ghost. But really, that is essentially someone is sleeping in another time, in another point in space and time. They're sleeping. And we are experiencing that person traveling to this point in time. And that's what a ghost is. And that's why these ghosts appear to be transparent. And that's why it seems like they are there, but not physically there in a sense. And I've often wondered, are ghosts simply other people that are sleeping at other points in time, visiting other points in time and visiting us through time and space? And to them, essentially, it is a dream. But to us, it is reality, and we experience them as what we've come to call them as a ghost. I know it's pretty deep to think about. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. But I've often wondered that, Like some of these ghosts you experience, like the Myrtles Plantation, which is a place that I consider to be very haunted. You have these a lot of cases there of residual type hauntings, of where these spirits do the same thing over and over again. There was one of the spirits there is said to be a man who was shot and killed on his front porch and climbed up the stairs and died on the 17th step. Another was a former slave who lived at the plantation, Chloe, which is the most famous ghost there at Myrtles Plantation, and also two little girls that had passed away there. And you see sort of this reoccurring theme where they're almost reliving events or memories. And when you think about when we have dreams, a lot of times they're reliving events or memories. They're just a little different. There's other weird people there that we don't know. And it's like, are these people, right? Like Chloe, the ghost of Chloe, right? Is that her dreaming when she was alive in that time period? She is dreaming, but she's transported, she's sort of astral traveled to this time, to current time. And people that go to the Myrtles Plantation, they're experiencing Chloe dreaming. And think about it, right? What happens? When is the majority of ghost sightings? When do they take place? Usually it's at night. When do people sleep? Nighttime, right? So it's like interesting because our people initially traveling in their sleep to other points in time, and these people that they experience in their dream, that is occurring in real time. That's just in another point in time, and that's why we travel, we go to places that we know we're familiar with in our sleep, like our homes where we once lived, but there are all these strange people in that. So essentially, do we become ghosts when we sleep to other people in other points in time?